Welcome to the Get Productive podcast. I am Detola, your host and productivity coach. Join me as we explore powerful tips and proven strategies to boost your productivity. Hello. Welcome back to the Get Productive with Detola podcast, your one-stop shop for practical productivity wisdom. This is episode 9. If you're new to the Get Productive with Detola podcast, welcome. I am so glad you stopped by and I hope you stick around. So that you don't miss any episodes, please go to www.detolaamore.com/podcast and subscribe now. I will add this to the show notes. If you're a returning listener, I appreciate you for coming back. If you have not already, I would please love to ask you to consider rating this podcast on your preferred podcast platform, such as Spotify or Apple Podcasts or even YouTube. A 5-star rating and a review will be highly appreciated, and your support will help reach more people and spread this content worldwide. Additionally, I will be grateful if you can recommend the podcast to at least 2 people in your world who you believe will find it beneficial. Because the more people listen, the more productive our community will become. In episodes 7 and 8, which was a 2-part episode series, we explored procrastination, including the reason why people procrastinate, the impact procrastination has on us, and strategies for overcoming procrastination. So if you haven't listened to those episodes yet, I highly recommend doing so. Today, we'll be tackling another common challenge related to productivity that many of us are likely familiar with. It is called multitasking. And multitasking is killing your productivity. That's what we're going to be discussing on today's episode. So what is multitasking? Multitasking is the act of performing 2 or more unrelated tasks simultaneously. In reality, when it comes to complex tasks that require cognitive effort, our brains cannot actually multitask. Instead, what we do is we switch from one task to another very quickly, and this can slow us down and even lead to errors. But why do we multitask? Multitasking has become an increasingly common practice in today's fast-paced world. Many people, especially women and mothers, who I have worked with extensively in my coaching practice, Super Working Mom, pride themselves on their ability to multitask. They believe that they can accomplish more by engaging in multiple tasks simultaneously. And also, it can give a sense of getting more done in less time, or that sense that you are being productive and efficient. Some individuals may feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of tasks they need to complete and believe that multitasking is the only way to get everything done. Others may simply find it more stimulating or enjoyable to engage in multiple activities at once, maybe because they are bored. We also find that some people may feel the need to prove their ability to handle multiple tasks simultaneously. Now, despite the popularity of multitasking, research suggests that multitasking can have significant drawbacks and may not be as effective as we think. It could lead to decreased productivity, increased errors, and reduced cognitive performance. Now, here's the thing about multitasking. We are talking about tasks that need your full mental focus. Of course, you can do chores while listening to music or maybe an audiobook, or you could be driving and listening to a sermon or a podcast like this, but that's not multitasking. That's just doing 2 things at once. And this is usually where one of those activities is done on autopilot. True multitasking is when you're trying to do 2 things that both need your attention. And for some people, they're trying to do 3 things that need your full attention. And it could be Things like using your mobile phone while driving, that's a no-no. Trying to text while driving, helping your child with their homework while browsing your phone, working on a critical document while talking to someone, or maybe working on 2 different documents at the same time, or you're working on a presentation and you're browsing social media. Or maybe you're attending a conference online, right, on Zoom, and you're trying to work on an important document. Or imagine this, you're on date night with your partner or spouse, and you're browsing your phone. You get the picture. The list can go on and on and on, but I think you get the gist. Your attention is usually divided between the tasks, which makes it hard to focus and think clearly. When we multitask, we use up valuable mental resources, and our brains need time to readjust each time we switch tasks. And this can be mentally draining and lead to stress and overwhelm. Studies have shown that multitasking can result in wasting 20 to 40% of our time, and this can lead to lower performance, missed deadlines, and costly mistakes. Also, multitasking can have a negative impact on our mental well-being. Studies have shown that people who frequently multitask are more likely to experience stress, anxiety, and difficulty concentrating. This is because multitasking can lead to a state of constant cognitive overload, which can take a toll on our mental resources. In contrast to multitasking, research have shown that practicing focused attention and mindfulness can lead to increased productivity, creativity, and overall well-being. When we focus our attention on a single task, we can process information more efficiently. We make better decisions and we produce higher quality work. Mindfulness techniques such as meditation, prayer, and deep breathing can help us to stay present and focused on the task at hand, reducing the urge to multitask. Now let's do this very quick exercise. I want you to think of times you tried to multitask. How do you feel at the end? You probably felt tired, frustrated, overwhelmed, maybe even anxious or cranky. Your brain felt overloaded, right? Then think of a time when you fully devoted your attention to just one task at a time. It's likely that you felt satisfied, you were able to focus, and you probably finished that task feeling as if you not only completed something, but that you also did your best. While multitasking may seem like a convenient way to get more done, it is important to recognize its potential drawbacks as mentioned. By prioritizing focused attention and mindfulness, we can achieve greater productivity, reduce stress, and improve our overall well-being. So what are some of the benefits of single tasking? Number 1, improved productivity. When you focus on one task at a time, you can complete it more quickly and with fewer errors. Number 2, reduced stress. Multitasking can be stressful. When you single task, you can feel calmer and more in control. Also, improved quality of work. When you're not trying to juggle multiple tasks, you can produce higher quality work. And lastly, a greater sense of accomplishment. When you complete a task, you feel a sense of satisfaction and accomplishment. So how do we stop multitasking? Here are 5 ways or 5 tips to help you stop multitasking. Firstly, prioritize your tasks. Not all tasks are created equal. So identify the most important tasks and focus on them one at a time. Personally, and I don't know if I've mentioned this before, I focus on up to 3 major tasks for a day, and I try to do them one at a time. Okay? Some use the rule of 5 where they focus on 5 things they want to accomplish that day. I have reduced mine to 3 because I find that I'm not overwhelmed when I do that. So prioritize your tasks and then focus on them one at a time. Then time boxing. I talk about time boxing all the time. Set a timer for a specific amount of time and focus on one task during that time. Okay? The next tip to help you stop multitasking is eliminate distractions. Turn your phone off, close unnecessary tabs, turn off notifications, and find a quiet place to do focused work. Take joy breaks. We talked about that in episode 1. Get around, move around, step outside for some fresh air so your brain can recalibrate and you can feel much better when you're about to do the next task. And lastly, be gentle with yourself. Breaking the multitasking habit requires time. So please show yourself compassion as you form a new habit. When you realize that you've gone back to multitasking, take a moment to pause and refocus. The truth is, I get it. You're juggling a lot of balls in the air with all the different roles you have. But if you want to be more productive and feel less stressed, try focusing on one task at a time. I know, multitasking is like second nature to you. But trust me, the more you practice, the better you'll become at single tasking. Sometimes I still find myself multitasking, but once the feeling of overwhelm creeps up, I pause and recalibrate. And let me tell you, if you want to take your career, your business, or even your life to the next level, ditching multitasking is a must. It's all about staying focused on the tasks that will truly make a difference for you. So give single tasking a shot and let me know how it goes. If you want to know more about maximizing your time and taking back control of your time, please reach out to me for more information about my course, Maximize Time. Shoot me an email to hello@detolaamure.com. I will add this to the show notes. So thank you for joining me on this episode. Remember, multitasking slows you down. So let's start practicing doing one task at a time, especially the ones that require some serious brain power. Make sure you're subscribed, rate this episode, share it with a friend who loves to multitask. And until next time, stay blessed and stay productive. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Get Productive podcast. Till next time, stay blessed.